Guys, what is going on? Welcome to my live review for last night's episode of SmackDown Live. We're going to take a look and break down everything that took place on the May 23rd edition of SmackDown Live, which I have to say was a really solid edition for the Blue Brand. One of the better episodes of SmackDown in recent memory, so it's nice to see SmackDown get back on track. Really just felt over the last couple of weeks, really since the Superstar shakeup and post-WrestleMania, SmackDown has kind of been lacking in terms of just being a good, solid show. I just felt like it's dipped to average, to even below average status. Just not really a lot going on. But I felt like tonight, coming out of Backlash, we had the post pay-per-view episode, and now heading into the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which will be June 18th. I'll do further videos on breaking down that Money in the Bank match in the weeks to come. I thought this was a really solid show, and much better than that boring, mundane episode of Mundane Night Raw. Raw was just bleh, nothing really too much going on there. But SmackDown, I felt, was solid in pretty much all aspects. There were some things that I didn't like on this show, but for the most part, definitely a thumbs-up edition of SmackDown Live. So without further ado, like I said, we kicked things off this week with Shane McMahon. He came down, opened the show with a huge announcement. He named at first it was the 5 participants in the Money in the Bank match. It was going to be AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Sami Zayn. And Shane was talking about these are going to be the 5 participants, and Kevin Owens would come out. He'd interrupt, and he said, why am I not in this Money in the Bank ladder match? I'm your United States champion after all, and it just doesn't make any sense. AJ Styles is in this match, yet he lost to Kevin Owens. And Shane McMahon said, all right, Owens, you're in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So that's your 6th participant. I think that is a stacked Money in the Bank ladder match field. Definitely one of the better ones in recent memory. You got Owens, you got Styles, Nakamura, Ziggler, Zayn, Corbin. Wow, that is a really good field. Really good field already. Looking forward to seeing who will be the one to become Mr. Money in the Bank. And Kevin Owens, he's like, all right, thank you for adding me to that. But what I was going to say here is Shane McMahon also announced in this opening segment that in 4 weeks, Randy Orton will be invoking his rematch clause, if I spit it out, against Jinder Mahal. So there were some worries. Is Randy going to beat him the next, 2 days from now on SmackDown? No. Jinder will at least hold that championship for 4 more weeks until he faces Orton again in his rematch. So they're at least going to give him a run. They're not going to do some stupid bait and switch thing, which I thought would have been just idiotic if they would have even attempted that. How are you going to know how this guy does unless you give him a run? So at least for the next 4 weeks, we'll see how Jinder Mahal does, and we'll talk about Jinder Mahal and how he did tonight on SmackDown Live. We had a little sparring back and forth. Baron Corbin, got on the mic, said that they should just lower the briefcase and give it to him now. AJ Styles, called Kevin Owens the Eric Cartman of SmackDown, and I got a brief Eric Cartman chant, so shout out to South Park, if you're a South Park fan like myself. I love that show. Just makes fun of everything and everybody. Good stuff. And then we had a Styles-Nakamura tease in this match, and think about it. We're going to see AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura in this match. And to end the show, we had a stare down between AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, so I like how they're teasing that. Maybe down the line at maybe SummerSlam. I'd save that for WrestleMania, but that is a big-time matchup that I hope we see down the line. And then, of course, everybody, like I said, Ziggler gets his quips in, Sami Zayn, Nakamura, and Nakamura ends the segment by saying they can all eventually refer to him as Mr. Money in the Bank. And, it looked like tensions were going to overflow here in this segment. Shane McMahon said, hey, we're not going to do that. We're going to save that for later on in the main event. It was going to be AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura teaming up to take on Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. And Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin, their issues remain unsolved. Corbin said, Sammy, pretty much you beating me at Backlash, that was a fluke. That didn't mean anything, I could beat you anytime, anywhere. And Sammy said, well, do you want to go tonight? Why wait? So we had Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn added to the card tonight as well. So I like this segment. It established, this is what the field's going to be for Money in the Bank. These are going to be your 6 participants. And we have some animosity brewing tonight. So here's how we're going to settle this. Tag match, singles match. All in all, effective segment, accomplished what it needed to. This was definitely the weakest part of the show here. Although I did like what they did with the women later on. But this tag match, Carmella and Natalya versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Average match, nothing really too much to say here. Becky Lynch locked in the disarmer on Carmella for the victory, so Becky and Charlotte won. Welcoming committee not really doing too much for me. I just want to see, feuds, individual feuds split off from this. I'm just tired of the whole, these 6 are going up against these 6 women. It's just like, okay, we got through Backlash, now let's establish who's going after the championship. And that's what we're doing next week, which I do like. There's going to be a fatal 5-way elimination match pitting Tamina, Natalya, Carmella, Becky, and Charlotte, and the winner will face Naomi at Money in the Bank. Now, I heard there were rumblings about potentially there being a women's Money in the Bank match, so maybe we somehow still get there with all 5 of these women. We'll have to see. But I do like the announcement of the Fatal 5-Way, hyping it up a week in advance, gives all these women an opportunity. It's an elimination match. So hopefully we're moving on from this these team feuds. I just felt like it's kind of stalled the women's division. Nobody's really going after that championship, but things should be getting back on track next week with the announcement of that Fatal 5-Way match. But the match here, solid work rate, good effort, but to me it was just, a match. Like their Backlash match. To me, that was just a match. So hopefully things get back on track here for the SmackDown Live Women's Division, because they have the talent, but let's just move on from this feud, which I felt has run its course. I really liked what they did here between Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin, and how Sami once again got a really quick upset win over Baron Corbin. Corbin underestimated Sami Zayn. He went in there thinking, I'm just going to breeze through this guy, and Sami got the win in less than 10 seconds. But what was nice about that was they didn't just, have Corbin lose for no reason. No, this made Corbin look vicious, brutal, and helped further establish that Sami Zayn, he thrives in the underdog role, and he thrived in this segment here. You felt so bad for him, getting his ass kicked, handed to him. Corbin snapped, he became enraged, he ragdolled Sami around, smacked him with a steel chair across the back, he threw him into the barricades, assaulted him all around the arena just with vicious shots and forearms to the head. Sami Zayn laid out, stretchered out. What does this mean for his status and Money in the Bank? Perhaps it's filled by Rusev. And, they write off Sami Zayn for a couple weeks. Maybe he's still in it, comes back and vows, I'm coming back stronger, harder than ever. But I felt like, this made Corbin, me despise Corbin. It's like, I beat you, yeah, but it's just like, he couldn't handle it. He could not handle losing to Sami Zayn twice when he was really projected to be the odds-on favorite. So I felt this segment was effective. It put the heat on Corbin, and it made Sami Zayn just look like that much more of an underdog, again, which is the role that he thrives in best. So this is what I thought we were going to get at Backlash, but I'm happy that we got it here. It all made sense, and I'm interested to see where they go with this next. So yeah, positive right there. Nice little interaction backstage with Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles. They talked about, they've done it all, AJ said, from going to Osaka to Tokyo, but tonight would be the first time ever that AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura would be partners in a match. And Styles says, this is the house that I built, and Nakamura, I like the little line he got in at the end, he said, he's going to turn it into his playground. And AJ's just like, did he just say that? I can't believe he just said that. So that was good stuff there. And makes me want to see a Nakamura AJ Styles match that much more. I really liked what they did tonight with the Fashion Police, Breezango. I thought just the way everything flowed from the Fashion Files segment with Shane McMahon, them saying, we just can't do it. We're returning in our badges, our toy water guns, which they put on Shane's desk. And they said, this is pretty much it for us. We couldn't beat the Usos, so we have to give it up. And Shane says, I have no idea what you guys are doing. I just love the way that Shane played this off. He's like, is this really happening right now? You guys really aren't cops. You do know that. Then he said, both of you will be in one-on-one singles action tonight against Jimmy and Jey Uso. So we had that later on. And we'll go a little bit out of order here because I want to keep going with what they did with Breezango, which I really liked. It was different. Like I said, that's the thing. It was different. You didn't see it coming. You thought, oh, here we go. It's just going to be the same old, same old. But no, I was out of the ordinary, and I liked it. We had Jey Uso versus Tyler Breeze. Usos go in, like I said, they're just like, we beat these guys the night before. What do we got to worry about? And again, these were two really quick matches. And usually I'm not a fan of that. It's just like, that really didn't do anything for me. But this, I thought, worked. Because the crowd kept getting more and more behind Breezango. And by the time you get into their championship match, which we'll talk about, we had some good stuff going. Fandango got up on the ring apron. He squirted Jay with the water gun. And that allowed for Tyler Breeze to get the distraction for the win. So who would have ever thought we'd see a water gun come into play and get, cost Jey Uso the win here. And similar factors like that played into Jimmy Uso versus Fandango. Tyler Breeze put the grandma costume back on. Jimmy Uso was at ringside, and he had handcuffs, holding them up in the air. And that led to Jimmy Uso chasing Tyler Breeze around the ring. They were doing a couple good laps there for a while. And that led to Jimmy Uso getting distracted as well based on the antics going on outside the ring, and Fandango rolled up Jimmy Uso for the win. So back-to-back wins for Breezango, and then that goaded the Usos into putting their tag team championships on the line, and we had what I thought was a solid tag team championship match here between the Usos and Tyler Breeze and Fandango. It looked like they came close to winning those tag team championships because they maybe got into the minds of the Usos, by beating them in quick succession. But the Usos were still able to walk out victorious in this match. They hit the top rope splash and got the roll up for the 3 count. So the Usos retain their championships, but I thought Breezango came out of this looking really good. The Fashion File segment was entertaining. The quick wins over the Usos was unexpected, and I thought this Tag Team Championship rematch was good stuff too. And like I said, the crowd got more and more behind them as what we saw here progressed. So good stuff. We'll see where they go. Maybe another match. New Day's coming back. They returned on Talking Smack last night, so we'll see how they'll factor into it. But I really like what they've done with Breezango. For the longest time, they just didn't do anything with them. Just they were there. They got beat down. Lose. Then they started doing these Fashion File segments, and those started to work. And they're really entertaining segments. Sometimes that's all it takes. Just that one segment, that one thing to get the ball rolling. The momentum going. And I felt like they built some nice momentum for them over the past couple of weeks. I definitely take them much more seriously now. And it's nice to see Tyler Breeze, a guy who did so well on NXT and came up to the main roster and just really never got that opportunity. They cut his legs out from him before he could even get going. And now at least it's nice to see him doing something of relevance. So that's the biggest positive I can say, because I've been a Tyler Breeze fan, since his days in NXT. So all in all, good stuff right here. So let's talk about the championship celebration, the Punjabi, the Maharaja, the crowning of Jinder Mahal as your 50th. That's right, he is the 50th man in history to hold that WWE championship. And they went all out. They had the dancers, the Punjabi garb. They rolled out the rug when Jinder got out of the limo. They had this elaborate, Punjab dancing celebration. And they came into the ring, and Jinder said the fans can shower him with their hate, but that doesn't change the fact that 1.3 billion people in the country of India were celebrating him as WWE champion. And he said the people boo him because he looks different, but he said they're all fools that have been exposed for not believing in him. And he said he is the greatest champion in WWE history, and the fans will not hijack this celebration. And he spoke in Punjab, his native language, and he said when he was done speaking, he posed with the championship. I thought Jinder, the celebration, everything here, was certainly something different. We've never seen anything like that. Kind of his crowning moment here, no pun intended. But I thought Jinder did well here, and I'm really interested to see how he does in his run. This is going to be the test. I thought him and Randy Orton had a solid match at Backlash, much better than I thought it was going to be, and the crowd didn't crap all over it, so that was good to see. Now let's see how he does, and he's at least going to hold that title for 4 weeks. Let's see how he does in that 4 weeks, and who knows? Maybe this could be the start of a big run for him. You never know. You never know how, where that lightning will strike and just catch fire. So let's see how he does. And then we had our main event on this show. Solid main event here featuring AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura teaming up for the first time to take on Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens. Just some good wrestling here. Some solid wrestling. Nakamura, took a lot of punishment. Maybe too much. I'd like to see Nakamura be a little bit more dominant. That dominant Shinsuke Nakamura, that ass-kicking Shinsuke Nakamura that we've seen on NXT. But when he got that tag to AJ Styles, they built to that hot tag. I like that part of the match. And towards the end, we just got a flurry of offense from Ziggler getting in the ring, and he got caught with an exploder suplex. Styles hit the Pele kick on Kevin Owens. Nakamura drop kicked Ziggler outside the ring. Nakamura lined up and hit Kevin Owens with the Kinshasa for the win. So Shinsuke Nakamura pins the United States champion, and that's a feud I'd like to see if you're going to save it for SummerSlam. Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States championship, if that is the destination for them for SummerSlam. I think that would be a great spot for Shinsuke Nakamura. So, and then we had Nakamura and AJ Styles. They posed and ended the show. We had a stare down, a tease, maybe of a match down the line between them for WrestleMania. So all in all, this was a good, solid edition of SmackDown Live. And like I said, much, much better than that just boring episode of Monday Night Raw that we got on Monday night. So a nice return to form here for the Blue Brand. So if I had to give a grade for last night's edition of SmackDown Live, I would give it a B. It was a solid show. Definitely check it out if you want to watch a good episode of SmackDown. So that is it, guys, for my thoughts and opinions on SmackDown Live this week. Remember to leave your comments down below in the comments section for what you thought of SmackDown this week. And be sure to click my like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel, whenever that may be in my next video. So thank you for watching, and until then, guys, take care.